Hey, majestic soul, welcome back to 1% Higher. What you're about to see is a powerful 10-minute segment from episode 4 of the Love Light Path, one of the deepest transmissions we've shared so far. It explores 3 sacred practices that can truly accelerate your awakening: faith, visualization, and dream work. I felt this clip could stand on its own, like a beacon, so here it is, just for you. Let it speak to your soul. Faith is complete trust or confidence in someone or something. It's a strong belief in God or the doctrines of religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. It's a faculty, energy, or perspective of your 6th circuit, also known as the third eye. This is the green ray or the 4th circuit, heart chakra. This is unconditional love. Throat area, blue, 5th circuit is wisdom. And then indigo up here, 6th circuit, that's unity, oneness, non-duality. Faith is the bridge to infinity. It can be consciously developed and strengthened. I had so little faith the vast majority of my life. I'm a late bloomer, very late bloomer when it comes to faith. Matter of fact, I laughed at people that talked about chakras and energy centers, and I also laughed at people that talked about faith and love. That was when my heart was walled off, and I was a human robot, emotionless. Really awesome, by the way, for getting shit done. I was a machine at productivity when I was a human robot with a wall over my heart. Faith is an infinite energy, literally infinite in possibilities. The counterpart to faith is will. It's a like double-sided coin, faith and will. Each strengthens and energizes each other as you apply them to your life. Faith aligns you with your highest and truest orientation. Gary Bean says, calling on faith enlarges the perspective, revealing to the seeker that all things experienced are a manifestation of the one creator. When analysis suggests that things are terrible, or you are diminished, or the cross of sacrifice cannot be carried, you can leap into midair without outer sign of support and trust that you will be caught. Without seeming ground beneath you, you can walk in the faith and the trust that all is well. Even when the real world threatens what you hold most dear, even when the pain is quite real, with faith you know that you are in an illusion, a simulation, and that there is nothing which ultimately threatens the real you. It only offers catalysts for discovery of the real, unlimited you. If your life seems to be a maze of confusion without exit or solution, if you feel trapped between boulders of impossible circumstance, or if you despair over the inability to answer the question, why, faith is the clarity, the opening, and the bridge to the eternal present moment. It's a recalibration to pre-incarnational programming and the desired path of evolution. Or, more poetically, faith allows the sails to catch the winds of destiny that blow ever within reach of the self. Consider what effect this profundity of trust can have on your perspective, your energy, and your nervous system. Worry, doubt, fear, paranoia, anxiety, all the neuroses of uncertainty and insecurity either dissipate or are channeled constructively in the clarified energy field of simplicity and trust, which sees that all is one and all is well. Faith opens the knotted circular patterns of thought to allow in the light, thus giving meaning and purpose to our suffering, and plugging us in to the infinite resource of hope. It uplifts and restores the system to its highest destiny and maximum functioning. Next is visualization, which is the formation of a mental image of something in the mind, mental imagery. It's one way to work with the mind and the will. Visualizing works particularly well if what you're imagining in your mental movie theater is electrifying, not just exciting, but exciting and electrifying. Even for people not naturally gifted in it, you can get a lot better at it through practice, especially if you do specific exercises. And that's why I have some of my favorite ones in this section. I find that the more instructions a person has, the easier it is to visualize. Sometimes people need a guided one. It's not enough to just read what to do. Some people prefer the guided meditations. I used to do those a bunch. Those were my training wheels for so many years, and they were great training wheels. And I still do them sometimes. Visualization has a belief in magic of thought, faith, and will at its heart. It's practiced using two things: silence and singleness of thought. And that's hard. Nowadays, singleness of thought for most of us is harder than ever before. But in my opinion, that's not a reason to not do it. That's more reason to do it. Done in a meditative state of mind, silence, focus, unconditional love based. Magical visualization. This is visualizing a shape and a color without any context or content at all. It's used as a mind trainer, and it attempts to teach focus to the mind, and it disciplines the will. Religious visualization. This could be like the cross or a rose. There's so many different things depending on the religion, depending on the person. Carla Rucker would often meditate on and visualize nature, whether in the forest or the ocean, walking through creeks and fields, or riding clouds. She said the mental imagery evoked deep rivers of purified emotion built up over years and years of sitting with those images. The divine love meditation, that was a guided energy center or chakra visualization. So you could do that with guided one, or you could just do it all by yourself without training wheels by imagining the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet energy circuits of consciousness from the base of your spine to the top of your head. And you can imagine them first activating and then rotating and then increasing in brilliance one by one, starting with red and then going up orange and then continuing seriatim. Finally, visualize a stream of light coming from your red ray and one coming from your violet ray, so 1 and 7, and mix the colors in your mind to become a pool of red violet. Then ask helpers, like guides or angels, to hold you by the silver cord and dip you into the pool until every cell of your body, inside and out, is drenched in it. And then, to really amplify it, visualize a pool of limitless white light and to ask the helpers to hold you by the silver cord and dip you into that pool too until you're also saturated in that white infinite light. And then imagine that all is the protection from the Creator. And then finally, the forgiveness visualization. I had a massive spiritual experience once. It was a forgiveness visualization. It was part of a 300-person 9-breath circle. 9-breath method breathing is a really advanced breathing exercise that involves something called a tumo exhale, and it hyper or super or quantum oxygenates your body and elevates your chi, so much so that after you do a couple of repetitions of this 9-breath method, it almost feels like a psychotropic experience. It almost feels kind of like the drug MDMA, but a micro dose of it. Then imagine 300 people. So then that's 300 different energy fields all close by in the San Diego Convention Center. And we're all sitting in chairs, holding hands, 300 people, being guided by Jeff Primack, my Qigong and food healing and 9-breath method teacher. And then part of that, I think we did 18 sets. And for each set, he had us visualize something different on the Tumo exhale. So after the 9th dragon breath, 9, then you do the sync lock, Tumo exhale real slow. And it lasts like a minute exhale, 300 people doing it. When he had us do a forgiveness visualization, I visualized my baby's mama, who I had a lot of animosity against and a lot of victim energy and stuff. And I saw her, I was closing my eyes, but she was like right there. And she had wings like an angel, and she looked beautiful and healed from heroin addiction. It was crazy powerful. But this regular forgiveness visualization is bringing up each relationship that needs healing into the center of your mental movie theater of your mind, and then getting to a place where each relationship is adequately forgiven. All right, working with dreams. This also is working with the unconscious mind, meditation, working with dreams, journaling, visualization. So much of this stuff is helping you get more of the really good information that helps us from the unconscious mind through the shuttle of the intuition into our conscious mind through these various different mystical tools and applied spiritual sciences. All right, working with dreams. Your body and conscious mind rest during sleep. Consciousness doesn't sleep. Dreams can provide insight into your lower energy center blockages. Working with dreams, and you could either buy a dream book or you could go on a search engine for free online. I do this all the time. I have a certain dream and then type in a phrase describing the main gist of the dream and then meaning, and then I'll read an article or two on it. But oftentimes I'll just use my own intuition and those contemplation walks I mentioned earlier for those perceptions to reach my conscious mind. It gives the waking mind clues as to the nature of your blockages and hints as to ways you could change your perception, which can lead to you unblocking. For example, becoming totally non-judgmental. In all cases, it's useful to ponder the content and emotive resonance of dreams. I find that working with dreams combines especially well with meditation and contemplation.
And here's what Carla Ruckert says about dreams. Our conscious desires to learn from our dreams and our affirmation to ourselves before sleeping that we wish to remember and write down our dreams focus desire to accomplish a task. This task is interpreted by the deep mind, or higher self, and it responds to our desire by expressing dreams to us. We then further cooperate with this process by keeping a dream notebook and consciously playing with the interpretation of this dream material. What we will tend to find is that we dream in cyclic patterns. Some material is patently transient, mere repetition of something that we did recently. Other material is evocative, provocative, filled with emotional atmosphere and aura, and textured with rich imagery. It is then our part to sift through this melange, extracting these clues and masks with which we wish to work, whose implications we wish to ponder. If this touched something deep within you, you might love the full 39-minute episode this came from. It's called 8 Sacred Practices for Accelerating Your Spiritual Awakening. I'll link it here on the screen and in the description. Keep going and keep awakening. You are the light remembering itself. I'll see you soon. Take good care of yourself.